Discipline is not merely a set of rules or a list of obligations. It is the invisible force that shapes the trajectory of every successful life. It is the bridge between goals and achievement, the quiet engine that drives dreams into reality. Without discipline, talent is wasted, ambition falters, and potential remains dormant. Think about the most accomplished individuals in history, those who transformed the world, who reached the pinnacle of human excellence. They did not do it through luck alone. They did it because they cultivated discipline, day after day, regardless of circumstances. Discipline is not about restriction or punishment. It is about freedom. The freedom to create, to grow, to pursue your deepest aspirations without being swayed by fleeting temptations or distractions. It is the ability to make conscious choices in alignment with your vision, even when the easier path calls out to you. Consider a musician who practices tirelessly, not because anyone watches, but because mastery demands consistency. Consider an athlete who pushes through pain, exhaustion, and failure, knowing that every rep, every mile, every drop of sweat counts. That is the essence of discipline, an unwavering commitment to a higher standard, a steadfast dedication to long-term growth rather than immediate gratification. Discipline is not innate. It is cultivated. It is the habit of taking responsibility for your actions, the courage to do what must be done, even when motivation wanes. Many people confuse discipline with willpower, but the two are not the same. Willpower is fleeting, like a flame that flickers in the wind, whereas discipline is a structured routine that reinforces progress and shields against the chaos of inconsistency. Imagine a sculptor chiseling a statue from a block of marble. Each strike of the chisel may seem small, even inconsequential in isolation, but the cumulative effect over time is transformation. Similarly, disciplined actions compound in our lives. Small, consistent efforts, waking up early, focusing on essential tasks, resisting distractions, may feel trivial, yet they create monumental results when performed daily. Discipline is what separates the person who dreams from the person who achieves, the thinker from the doer. It is a promise you make to yourself, an unspoken contract with your future, ensuring that you honor your own potential.
Moreover, discipline shapes character. It is more than a tool for achieving goals. It is a reflection of who you are and what you value. When you practice discipline, you cultivate self-respect, integrity, and reliability. You become someone whose word holds weight, someone who can be trusted to follow through, someone who does not compromise when faced with temptation or challenge. Discipline transforms not just your habits, but your identity. It reprograms your mind to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term pleasures, to embrace responsibility rather than avoidance, to act decisively rather than procrastinate. In essence, discipline creates a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more capable than the person you were yesterday. The most successful people in the world are not extraordinary because of innate talent alone. They are extraordinary because of their disciplined approach to life. The entrepreneur who rises before dawn to work while others sleep, the student who studies relentlessly while peers play, the artist who hones their craft every day despite criticism. All of them demonstrate that discipline is the engine that turns effort into excellence. It is the silent, often unnoticed force behind every achievement. While talent opens doors, discipline ensures you walk through them consistently. While inspiration sparks action, discipline sustains it. The world is full of people with ideas, potential, and ambition, but only those with discipline realize their vision because they commit to the hard work necessary to bridge the gap between dreams and reality. Discipline is also about mastering your environment. It requires the awareness to remove distractions, to create conditions that promote growth, and to align daily actions with your highest goals. It is a practice of mindfulness and action, where every decision is evaluated against your larger purpose. This is why so many people fail to reach their potential, not due to a lack of intelligence or opportunity, but because they allow short-term impulses to dictate their behavior. They fall into cycles of procrastination, self-doubt, and inconsistency. Discipline breaks these cycles. It establishes boundaries, instills focus, and reinforces habits that compound over time. Even the most modest actions, when performed consistently, lead to remarkable transformation. Finally, discipline is not about perfection. It is about persistence. You will stumble, you will falter, and you will face setbacks. What defines disciplined individuals is not their immunity to failure, but their response to it. They view obstacles as temporary challenges rather than insurmountable barriers. They maintain routines, realign goals, and adjust strategies without abandoning their commitment. Discipline is the art of continuing forward, even when the journey is hard, uncertain, or exhausting. It is the difference between fleeting effort and lasting accomplishment, between dreams that fade and dreams that manifest. When you embrace discipline, you embrace the process of growth itself, understanding that every small step taken consistently leads to extraordinary outcomes. Discipline is the power that converts intention into action, vision into reality, and potential into achievement. It is the invisible force that separates ordinary from extraordinary, fleeting effort from lasting success. The question is not whether you have talent, resources, or opportunity. The question is whether you have the courage to practice discipline every day, to honor your commitments to yourself, and to persist relentlessly in the pursuit of your dreams. This is the true power of discipline. It allows you to harness your energy, focus your actions, and shape your life in alignment with your highest aspirations. Without discipline, even the brightest spark fades. With discipline, the smallest effort ignites a lifetime of achievement.
Discipline is the quiet architect behind every story of greatness. It doesn't shout, it doesn't demand attention, but its presence is unmistakable in the lives of those who rise above mediocrity. When we look at successful individuals, we often admire their success, the final result, the trophies, wealth, or recognition, but we overlook the countless days of struggle, the invisible moments of choice, and the sheer consistency that built the foundation of their achievements. Discipline is not glamorous. It rarely feels exciting in the moment, but it is that very monotony, that daily repetition of effort that creates mastery. Greatness is not born from bursts of inspiration. It is crafted through deliberate, disciplined action repeated with unwavering focus. Every day presents a battlefield between comfort and commitment. The human mind naturally seeks ease, pleasure, and escape from effort. Discipline is the shield that protects us from our own weaknesses. It is the internal compass that keeps us on course when distractions pull us in every direction. When you wake up in the morning and your bed feels warm and inviting, but your goals demand that you rise early, discipline is the voice that says, "Get up." When your mind whispers that one skipped workout, one delayed task, or one missed opportunity won't matter, discipline is the reminder that every choice matters, that excellence is built on consistency, not convenience. The people who achieve greatness are not those who always feel motivated. They are the ones who act despite their feelings. They understand that discipline begins where motivation ends.
Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes with your mood, your circumstances, and your environment. Discipline, however, is stable. It is rooted in principle, not emotion. When motivation fades, discipline carries you forward. This is why some people achieve remarkable progress even when inspiration dries up. They've trained themselves to show up no matter what. Success is not the result of occasional passion. It is the consequence of consistent perseverance. Imagine planting a seed and watering it daily. For days, nothing seems to happen. There are no visible signs of growth. But beneath the surface, roots are forming, strength is building. Then, one day, the sprout emerges, and everyone calls it success. But what they didn't see was the discipline it took to nurture that seed when no one was watching. That's how life works. Discipline is doing the work in silence, trusting that results will bloom in time. Discipline also rewires your relationship with time. People often underestimate how much they can achieve in a year and overestimate what they can achieve in a day. Discipline teaches patience. It allows you to appreciate progress over perfection. The disciplined individual understands that transformation is not immediate. It's built brick by brick, moment by moment. Each disciplined choice compounds into strength, clarity, and self-respect. Time becomes your ally when you are disciplined because you stop wasting it on trivial distractions. You begin to value every hour, every moment as a step toward your purpose. And in that awareness, life becomes intentional. You are no longer drifting, you are driving, steering your own destiny with purpose and control.
Another incredible power of discipline lies in how it strengthens your mind. When you repeatedly choose structure over chaos, you develop mental toughness. Your mind becomes sharper, your willpower stronger, and your focus unbreakable. You start trusting yourself because every time you follow through on your commitments, you build inner credibility. Self-discipline, in its deepest form, is self-trust. It's telling yourself, I will do this, and then actually doing it. And when you keep that promise day after day, your confidence becomes unshakable. You stop seeking external validation because your worth is no longer tied to others' opinions. It's built upon your own consistent actions. That's the essence of true empowerment. The moment you realize that your future is in your hands, shaped by your discipline. Discipline doesn't mean you'll always enjoy the process. In fact, it often demands doing what you don't feel like doing. But here's the truth. You don't have to love the process to love the results. Think of an athlete running miles under the scorching sun, or a student burning the midnight oil before exams. They may not love every moment, but they are in love with the idea of who they're becoming through those efforts. Discipline is a declaration of faith in your future self. It's saying, I'm willing to endure temporary discomfort for permanent growth. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts a lifetime. Every time you choose discipline, you are choosing a future free from regret. Many people wait for the perfect time to start working on their dreams. But the truth is, there is no perfect time, only disciplined action. Waiting for the right moment is often an excuse disguised as patience. Discipline doesn't wait for circumstances to align, it creates the conditions for success. If you begin today, even imperfectly, you are already miles ahead of those who are still waiting. The disciplined person understands this deeply. They act even when conditions aren't ideal. Because progress doesn't require perfection, it requires persistence. Discipline makes you unstoppable because you no longer rely on external factors. You rely on your inner drive.
In a world overflowing with distractions, discipline is your competitive edge. It is the ability to say no to the noise and yes to your purpose. Every notification, every temptation, every convenience is designed to pull you away from focus. The disciplined mind filters through this chaos. It prioritizes what truly matters. This ability to focus is what separates productivity from busyness, impact from activity. Discipline turns scattered effort into concentrated power. And when your energy is directed toward one clear goal, the world begins to move in your favor. You stop reacting to life and start designing it intentionally. Furthermore, discipline builds emotional strength. It trains you to delay gratification, manage frustration, and handle failure with grace. When you're disciplined, you understand that emotions are temporary, but outcomes are lasting. You stop quitting when things get hard because your commitment runs deeper than your feelings. You become emotionally mature, capable of handling pressure without breaking. That's what makes disciplined individuals leaders. They remain calm amid chaos because they're guided by principles, not emotions. When others panic, they persist. When others complain, they adapt. Their strength doesn't come from luck, it comes from disciplined preparation. At its core, discipline is self-love in action. It's not punishment, it's protection. It's protecting your future from the damage of your present impulses.
When you choose to sleep on time, eat healthily, work hard, and stay focused, you're not being harsh on yourself. You're being kind. You're saying, I care about my future enough to make sacrifices today. The world often glamorizes comfort, but comfort rarely creates growth. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-care because it nurtures the best version of you. It gives you control over your habits, your time, and your destiny. When you live with discipline, something extraordinary happens. You begin to respect yourself deeply. That respect changes how you walk, how you talk, and how you approach life. You stop chasing instant pleasure because you've tasted the satisfaction of earned success. You become the kind of person others admire, not because of wealth or fame, but because of your strength, your consistency, and your example. People can sense the power of a disciplined individual. It radiates calm confidence. That's the kind of power that changes lives, inspires others, and leaves a legacy far greater than momentary success.
Discipline is not only about what you do, it's about who you become. Every time you act with discipline, you are redefining your identity. You are telling yourself, I am someone who follows through. I am someone who does not quit. I am someone who can be trusted. And this new identity begins to shape every area of your life. When you live with discipline, you start attracting opportunities that match your effort. People begin to rely on you, respect you, and admire you, not because you're perfect, but because you are consistent. In a world full of talkers, a disciplined doer stands out. You don't need to announce your work. Your results speak louder than any words ever could. Discipline makes your character magnetic. It commands attention not through noise, but through results. Think about how many dreams die, not because people lack potential, but because they lack discipline. Every abandoned goal, every unfulfilled plan, every broken resolution has one thing in common: inconsistency. The idea was there, the vision was clear, but the daily discipline was missing. Dreams do not fail because of a lack of passion. They fail because people stop showing up when it gets hard. Passion starts the journey, but discipline finishes it. It's the fuel that keeps your engine running long after excitement fades. Discipline transforms your one day into day one. It turns wishful thinking into actual progress. The truth is, you don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. Because when you are disciplined, you act regardless of how you feel. And that's the point at which transformation truly begins. Every success story you've ever heard follows the same formula: effort multiplied by time, powered by discipline. The athlete trains before dawn while the world sleeps. The writer commits to daily words even when inspiration is absent. The entrepreneur grinds through rejection after rejection without losing focus. None of them succeed overnight, but all of them share one unbreakable habit: they stay consistent. Discipline bridges the long, lonely gap between effort and success. It is the invisible force that holds you steady when results seem slow, when others give up, and when doubt tries to steal your focus. Those who remain disciplined through the dry seasons are the ones who eventually taste the fruits of their labor.
But discipline is not just about hard work. It's also about balance. True discipline doesn't mean overworking yourself until you burn out. It means structuring your life so your energy, time, and focus are used wisely. It's learning to say no to what doesn't serve you, even if it looks tempting. It's managing your time like a precious resource, not wasting it on gossip, negativity, or comparison. Discipline is clarity. It helps you separate what is urgent from what is important. When you master that clarity, you stop chasing everything and start building something meaningful. Your focus sharpens, your actions align, and your peace deepens. You no longer live reactively, you live intentionally. Discipline also builds credibility with yourself and with others. When you promise something and deliver it, you build a reputation, both internal and external. People trust disciplined individuals because they know consistency equals reliability. In your personal life, that trust strengthens relationships. In your professional life, it opens doors.
Opportunities naturally flowed toward those who are dependable. Discipline, therefore, is not just a personal virtue, it's a professional advantage. It separates the average from the exceptional, the temporary from the timeless. The world doesn't reward wishful thinkers. It rewards those who can execute. And execution requires discipline. Sometimes people confuse discipline with rigidity, as if being disciplined means losing joy or spontaneity. But the truth is the opposite. Discipline doesn't suppress your freedom, it protects it. When you are disciplined, you gain control over your life. You are no longer a prisoner of bad habits or emotional swings. You have the power to choose what's right for you instead of what feels easy. You can enjoy your time more fully because your responsibilities are under control. You can rest without guilt, play without anxiety, and succeed without chaos. That's not restriction, that's true freedom. Freedom isn't doing whatever you want whenever you want. It's having the power to choose what's right and sticking with it. Every time you practice discipline, you strengthen your mind like a muscle. The more you resist temptation, the stronger you get. The more you stay consistent, the more automatic good habits become. And once discipline becomes part of your identity, you no longer have to force yourself. It becomes natural. You start craving progress instead of comfort, challenge instead of ease, growth instead of stagnation. That's when you realize discipline isn't about suffering, it's about evolution. It's the process of turning potential energy into real, unstoppable momentum.
There will be times when discipline feels heavy. You'll face moments when you question whether it's worth it. The results may come slowly, the road may be long, and the sacrifices may feel endless. But in those moments, remind yourself, the pain of discipline is temporary, but the reward is permanent. Every ounce of effort you invest in discipline pays you back in ways you can't yet imagine. One day when you look back, you will see that every early morning, every late night, every moment of self-control built the foundation of your success. What feels like sacrifice today will feel like strength tomorrow. Discipline doesn't just change your results, it changes your destiny. Another incredible truth about discipline is how it influences others. Whether you realize it or not, people are watching you. Your children, friends, colleagues, they all learn from your example. When you lead a disciplined life, you inspire others to do the same. You become proof that consistency works, that hard work pays off, that persistence beats luck. Discipline creates ripple effects. It multiplies your impact. Your self-control becomes someone else's motivation. Your dedication becomes someone's reason not to give up. That's the quiet power of a disciplined life. It doesn't just transform you, it transforms everyone who witnesses it. To master discipline, you must also master self-awareness. You must know your triggers. What distracts you? What weakens your resolve? What steals your focus? You must design your environment to make good choices easier. Keep your goals visible, your distractions distant, and your standards high. Discipline thrives in clarity. When your purpose is clear, decisions become simpler. You no longer debate between action and inaction. You act because it's who you are. That's the difference between trying to be disciplined and becoming disciplined. Trying requires effort. Becoming requires identity. Once you see yourself as a disciplined person, every choice you make aligns with that belief. In a sense, discipline is the most powerful form of self-respect. It's telling yourself that your future is worth fighting for. It's saying, I will not let laziness, fear, or distraction define me. It's an act of self-belief so strong that it silences every excuse. Discipline is not about having control over the world. It's about having control over yourself. And once you achieve that, no setback, no failure, and no rejection can break you. You become resilient, focused, and unstoppable. Remember, the power of discipline lies not in grand gestures, but in small, daily actions. It's in choosing water over soda, reading over scrolling, progress over procrastination. The compound effect of these small decisions creates massive change. Over time, the disciplined person doesn't just outperform others, they outgrow them. They reach levels of peace, success, and fulfillment that others can only dream of. Discipline is the invisible advantage, the one thing that guarantees long-term victory in every area of life.
Discipline is the foundation upon which every great legacy is built. It's the one principle that never fails, never fades, and never loses its relevance. When all else is uncertain, when luck runs out, when opportunities dry up, when the world tests your limits, discipline stands firm like an anchor in a storm. It gives you direction when everything else feels chaotic. It reminds you who you are when doubt tries to cloud your vision. You see, discipline doesn't just create results, it creates identity, and identity shapes destiny. When you become disciplined, you're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You stop saying, "I hope things get better," and start saying, "I will make them better." That shift from wishing to working, from hoping to doing, is where true transformation begins. Every time you choose discipline, you're rewriting your story. You're proving to yourself that you can rise above excuses, distractions, and fear. You're teaching yourself that consistency beats intensity, that progress matters more than perfection. Discipline gives you the power to start over no matter how many times you failed. It whispers, "Try again," when the world says it's over. It pushes you one more step forward when your legs feel heavy. And in that one step, one small, disciplined act, you build momentum. Over time, those steps become strides, and those strides become victory. That's how ordinary people achieve extraordinary success, not through magic, not through luck, but through the steady rhythm of disciplined action. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care where you come from, what your background is, or what obstacles you face. It rewards anyone who practices it. Whether you're a student, an artist, an entrepreneur, or a parent, discipline multiplies your potential. It takes your effort and compounds it into excellence. It takes your goals and turns them into reality. That's why discipline is often called the great equalizer. Talent can give you a head start, but discipline decides who finishes the race. Every single day you show up, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching, you are investing in a future that others will call luck. But you'll know, it wasn't luck, it was discipline. Discipline is also a form of inner peace. It quiets the noise of regret, chaos, and guilt. It gives you the satisfaction of knowing you gave your best today. And that peace, of doing what needed to be done, is something no comfort or luxury can replace. Indiscipline, on the other hand, breeds anxiety. Every unfulfilled promise, every delayed task, every missed opportunity weighs heavy on the mind. You start doubting yourself, feeling lost, powerless, stuck. But when you live with discipline, your confidence grows naturally. You sleep better because you know you've earned your rest. You smile with calm assurance because you're no longer chasing shortcuts. You're walking the real path. That's the hidden gift of discipline. It doesn't just make you successful, it makes you peaceful.
There will be moments when discipline feels lonely. The world around you might not understand why you're working while others relax, why you're sacrificing comfort, why you're saying no to distractions that everyone else embraces. But remember, discipline is a lonely road that leads to a crowded destination. The path of the undisciplined is crowded at the beginning and empty at the end. The path of the disciplined is empty at the start, but full at the finish. One day, the same people who doubted your commitment will admire your results. The same friends who mocked your dedication will ask for your advice. That's the poetic justice of discipline. It turns isolation into inspiration. If you want to know who you'll be in 5 years, look at what you do every day. Your habits predict your future more accurately than your dreams. Every disciplined choice is a vote for the person you want to become. So ask yourself, what are you voting for today? Are you voting for growth or for comfort? For purpose or for distraction? For your future or for your excuses? Discipline demands honesty.
It doesn't allow you to lie to yourself. And that honesty is where freedom begins. When you stop hiding behind excuses, when you start holding yourself accountable, you unlock a version of yourself that's stronger than fear, tougher than failure, and hungrier for success than ever before. You see, discipline is not just a habit, it's a mindset. It's the understanding that effort today builds ease tomorrow. It's knowing that your dreams don't respond to emotions, they respond to effort. It's realizing that every great life is built, not wished for. People often pray for success, but discipline is the answer to that prayer. Because God, the universe, destiny, whatever you believe in, doesn't reward desire alone, it rewards action. Every disciplined act is a declaration that you are ready to receive what you're asking for. It's saying to life, I'm serious, I'm prepared, I'm committed. That's when life starts cooperating with you, when it sees that your actions match your words. True discipline also requires gratitude. When you approach discipline with resentment, it feels like a burden. But when you approach it with gratitude, with a mindset that you get to do this, that you have the chance to grow, to create, to improve, discipline becomes joyful. It's no longer punishment, it's privilege. You start enjoying the process, even the difficult parts, because you see them as steps towards something meaningful. You start feeling proud of every small victory, every bit of progress, every challenge conquered. Gratitude transforms discipline from a chore into a celebration of growth. And when discipline becomes joyful, success becomes inevitable.
Another secret of discipline is that it compounds quietly. You might not see results today or even tomorrow, but they are accumulating. The progress is happening beneath the surface. The body you're building, the business you're growing, the mindset you're strengthening, they're all evolving in silence. Then, one day, the world notices. They call it a breakthrough. But to you, it's just another day of doing what you've always done, showing up with discipline. Breakthroughs don't happen by chance. They happen by consistency. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your discipline. If you want to change your life, start by mastering one small habit. Wake up on time. Make your bed. Exercise for 10 minutes. Read a few pages. Keep promises to yourself. The scale doesn't matter. It's the consistency that counts. Each small act of discipline strengthens your self-image and weakens your excuses. Before long, the momentum builds. You start realizing that discipline is contagious. One good habit fuels another. You begin to live with purpose, with clarity, with confidence. That's the power of momentum, and it all begins with one disciplined decision. In the end, discipline is not about punishment or perfection. It's about progress. It's about choosing growth over comfort, direction over distraction, and responsibility over excuses. It's about understanding that every disciplined act is an act of love toward your future self. The world doesn't need more dreamers. It needs more disciplined doers. People who will show up, do the work, and make things happen. So if you're waiting for the right moment to begin, this is it. Start today. Start small. Start disciplined. Because the truth is, your dreams are waiting for you, but they're waiting at the end of a disciplined road. Every success you've ever admired, every legend you've ever respected, every hero who ever inspired you, they all walked that same road. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And so it will be for you. One day, when you look back at your journey, you'll realize that the power of discipline didn't just help you reach your goals. It built the strength, the focus, and the courage that made you unstoppable. Discipline won't just change your life. It will make you the kind of person who can change the world. So wake up each day with purpose. Stay consistent. Stay grounded. Stay disciplined. Because discipline is not the enemy of freedom. It is the path to it. And once you master it, there will be no mountain too high, no dream too big, and no challenge too great. The power of discipline is the power to transform your life. And that power, my friend, lives within you.